Hello, I'm William Gallagher and this is 58 Keys, which as ever, as always except for Mondays, is specifically for writers like you and me who usually write on Macs and iPhones and iPads. Mondays for all writers, even those ones who use pencils. Amazing. Do support 58 Keys on Patreon because there's always so much to talk about. And sometimes it's serious, so I can't give a straight face. Sometimes it's not, okay? Previously on 58 Keys, I showed you a tiny, tiny keyboard that I use with my iPhone when I'm out and about. I save you watching that. No links anywhere. It was this, okay? You'll see more about that in a minute. But since then, 58 Keys viewers, have you been telling people about us? Have suggested some others, and I keep buying them. Yeah, there's just something about keyboards, and I know it's not just me, because, well, actually, you clicked on this video, didn't you? So, to try to sound like there is a serious point. The aim of these keyboards, all of these and every tiny keyboard, is for you and me to be able to type on our iPhones without either, thumbing it on the glass or carrying around, that's more like a gun, well, great chunks of plastic. You get the idea. All of these, though, keyboards that I've found anyway, actually work with anything. The iPhone, certainly, but also iPads and Macs. They're Bluetooth, so they work with PCs as well and Android. Most of them also let you switch very easily between 2 or sometimes 3 of those. So you can be typing away on your iPhone, press a button, and now you're typing away on your Mac. None of them, though, no small keyboard is good enough to use all the time. They've got to be short-term things, temporary keyboards to use in a rush, somewhere, just because they're always necessarily cramped in, and they're not what you're going to call ergonomic. But short bursts of typing while you're away, that's got to suit working on your iPhone somewhere, isn't it? So you're a writer. You know about pacing, you know about rhythm, you know about building up to a big finish, but now you're a writer. Let's forget all of that. Let's not do a countdown. Let's not do a worst to best and with a big, So let's start with the best, and actually you can stop whenever you've seen enough. Although, if you hit that subscribe button before you left, that'd be good too. Now, okay, the best small keyboard that I've been able to find is this one. This is actually the one that I recommended before, the Microsoft folding keyboard. If you've not come across it before, the big and I think the surprisingly good selling point is how it feels to type on. It's so slim, just like a tiny little thing, but there's an unexpected amount of travel on the keys. At the distance you have to press down before it registers as a key press, and travel makes the difference between a keyboard being comfortable and even pleasant to use and not really. There's also the folding part of the foldable keyboard. Folding up, it does go easily into a bag or into a case, but it is a pixel too wide for a back pocket or even a jacket pocket. I do have, it turns out I've got 2 jackets actually that it will fit in, but of course I'm never wearing them when I need it. Am I? Typical. But also, actually, if you don't happen to have seen one of these before, the first thing you notice about the fold is, the fold down the middle, don't you? That's what you see first. Yes, the keys are separated. And if you think about this as you type, you are thrown terribly. If you don't think about it and you just type, it works fine. One thing, I don't believe I even actually thought about this until I was trying other keyboards that 58 Keys viewers recommended, is that this folding thing also means you need to type on a flat surface, an airline table, a desk, something like that. And since the previous video, other things have come to light about this. Things that, well, this is going to sound callous, they don't matter to me, so I didn't notice them, but they don't matter to me because I've got one. And since I'm already in the UK, I've already got one and I'm already in the UK. Yeah. People have been telling me that either they've had difficulty getting this keyboard at all, or that when they have got, it's come with the wrong layout. Keyboards are keyboards. And unless you're in France where they use the AZERTY layout instead of the regular, is it regular? In France, AZERTY is regular, but the QWERTY one that you might be more familiar with, there's possibly no reason you even need to know that there is any difference anywhere, but there is. Keyboards, well, they tend to vary when they put the @ symbol or the double quote. They kind of reverse those two. I don't know why just those two. And as a UK typist, I expect to have a return or an enter key that, well, it's taller than it is wide, while American users always have it wider than it is tall. I'm really interested in why, but so there are differences like that. And I didn't think they applied here. I thought this was an American layout everywhere, but apparently there are variations. And I really know this. Using the wrong keyboard layout can be really frustrating. So you need to search for the right mic. You could see me, I was going to think about other things here because I do swap between keyboards, but search for the Microsoft folding keyboard where you are, but also where you search where you are. The keyboard is now so old. I think it first came out a decade ago, maybe, something like that. Some territories have stopped selling it new. So this is one where you're going to need to search Microsoft site, Amazon, maybe eBay. The retail price of this keyboard was something like £100 or $100. I can see it when I look today. I can see it new on Amazon UK for about £90 and Amazon US for $60. I'll put links in the show notes. This is the Doohoeek keyboard, and it's what made me conscious that the Microsoft one needs to be on a table, because this does not. You can use it on your lap, on your knee. I'm not certain that I'd actually, recommend that, since it's not really more... Yeah, it's more ergonomic nightmares. That's the short way of saying it, but you can, and I think that is a big advantage. It is a disadvantage that it can't fold, but while the keys themselves don't, the whole thing can. It doesn't save away that solves space left to right, but it does fold in such a way that you can use it to prop up your iPhone. Oh, let me get this right. Someone let up. I sometimes do this actually just so that I can watch films on my iPhone and not type at all. As you can see, I can never remember how to get the folding right, and it's a fiddle every time, but I rather like it when I folded it correctly. I also like how it might not fold the keys, but the shape, when it's closed like that, does fit into a pocket. I mean, it pokes up a bit. It'll never go into something like a clutch bag, but it can fit a pocket and nobody can tell that you're wearing it. The typing, though, is not as good as on the Microsoft keyboard. There is travel, but I haven't really been able to do proper touch typing. I'm not quite. I mean, I think in this case it's something you get used to over time, but I keep missing the space bar. I'm always tapping one or either the two keys to the right of it. I mean, and again, that should be something that you adapt to. But despite the more convenient size, it's the feel of the typing that stops this being the one I carry absolutely everywhere. I carry it a lot, and doing this, I mean, it's not bad at all. Also, it's a lot cheaper than the Microsoft one. It costs £24 or so here in the UK and about $27 in the US. Which leaves us with the absolute littlest keyboard in the world. It's the littlest, but it's also the strangest. I bought this, and still I can't tell you who sells it. I had to get it from an eBay seller, although, came in a box. It's a box that somehow, I mean, really quite suspiciously, avoids saying the name of the manufacturer. I can tell you that when I bought it for £15 on eBay here in the UK, the seller was listing it as a universal, rechargeable, BT 3.0, so Bluetooth 3, keyboard for iOS, tablet, laptop, mobile phone, hot REL. I don't have one thin clue what REL is. Hot? Yes, let's not go there. And actually, I know it's the one that appeals to you the most. It's the one that just looks like it's fun, but it's the one that isn't worth the money, really. I mean, it's a real keyboard. It fits very easily into a pocket or a bag, and you can use it to type on any iPhone or anything, really. But I say type. Obviously, you're not going to be able to touch type, but it seems to me using it that even Hunt and Peck is pretty slow. Slow enough. I think you're better off typing directly on the glass of the iPhone. And yet, I have been carrying this around. I mean, it's practically small as to go on your keyring. I mean, just practically. I suddenly thought, is there a remote? No, it can't. So, for an emergency, in fact, I can see you, I mean, specifically you, breaking into some high security place like you do every Thursday and needing to type in codes to hack your way through locked doors while security guards are coming in that case, being able, yeah, right, well, I can see that. So there's the Microsoft one, there's the Doohoeek one, and there's the no-name Spy keyboard. It is good, better, worse kind of thing. But actually, there are some honourable mentions of keyboards that I wasn't able to get, but you might be able to. They'll pop up from time to time, doubtlessly, on auction sites. Carl recommended an iClever folding keyboard. And Carl, when you did that, I told you that I was sure I'd reviewed that once. And it turns out, well, I had sort of. The one that you're recommending to me, it has a tiny little trackpad built in. And the one I reviewed many, many years ago now did not. You can't use a trackpad or a mouse on an iPhone, but you can on an iPad or a Mac. If you search online, particularly in Amazon, for the iClever folding keyboard, well, you're not going to find it. But you will find a lot of very similar models from very similar manufacturers. And it's kind of the same story with the Jellycomb keyboard that Diane recommended. When I tried, I just could not get one. And also the Jellycomb one, it has a trackpad. So very similar to iClever, but I like the name Jellycomb. Look, you've got to stop searching for keyboards at some point. I have to stop buying them, I suppose. But in the meantime, type on everything. That's it for this edition of 58 Keys even. Thank you very much for watching. 58 Keys, how can I forget the name 58 Keys? Remember, by the way, the new 58 Keys writing workshop videos on this channel every Monday. But more importantly, more urgently really, I think, take care of yourself, eh? Write more on anything, and I'll see you soon.